Have you ever felt like your life is stuck in place? Like no matter how hard you try, things just aren't moving forward? Maybe you've been praying for a breakthrough, but instead of open doors, you're facing delay after delay. It's frustrating. It's confusing. But what if I told you that this isn't a sign of failure? It's a sign that something greater is coming. Many people give up too soon because they don't recognize when God is preparing them for something bigger. They see obstacles and think they are being punished, but in reality, they are being positioned. What feels like a setback is often a setup. What looks like a delay is actually divine timing at work. And here's the truth. If you're feeling stuck right now, it might mean you are on the verge of receiving something you can't even imagine yet. You are not being held back. You are being prepared. Stay with me until the end of this message, because by the time we're done, you'll understand the signs that prove God is working in your life right now. And once you see them, you'll never doubt His plan again. The hidden pattern behind every blessing. Think about some of the greatest blessings in life. A strong marriage, financial success, deep inner peace. None of these happen overnight. They all require preparation. But preparation isn't easy. It's uncomfortable, it stretches you, challenges you, and forces you to grow. Psychology tells us that the human brain resists change. We crave routine and familiarity because they make us feel safe. But growth and comfort cannot exist in the same space. If you want something new in your life, you have to be willing to let go of the old. And sometimes God has to push you out of what's familiar so you can step into something greater. This is why the preparation phase feels so hard. You're being stretched in ways you don't understand. You're being asked to trust when you can't see the outcome. You're being refined in ways that might not make sense now, but one day you'll look back and realize that everything was necessary. Every delay, every struggle, every closed door, it was all part of the process. Why most people miss their blessing? Here's where most people fail. They confuse preparation with punishment. When things don't go their way, they assume they're doing something wrong. They let frustration turn into doubt, and doubt turns into discouragement, and before they know it, they walk away from the very thing they were meant to receive. But if you truly believe that God is in control, then you must also believe that nothing in your life is random. Every experience is shaping you for something greater. Every struggle is refining you for what's ahead. And when you resist the process, you delay the blessing. The people who receive the greatest rewards in life are not the ones who never struggled. They are the ones who refused to give up. They are the ones who trusted the process, even when it didn't make sense. They are the ones who kept moving forward, even when they couldn't see the finish line. But the truth about divine timing, one of the hardest things for people to accept is that God's timing is not the same as ours. We live in a world that teaches us to expect instant results. We want success now. We want answers now. We want breakthroughs now. But God doesn't operate on human schedules. He is never in a hurry, but He is never late. If He is making you wait, it's because what He has for you requires preparation. And sometimes the waiting season is the most important part of the journey, because it's in the waiting that you develop the character, wisdom, and strength you'll need to handle the blessing when it arrives. Think about it. If you received everything you wanted right now, would you truly be ready for it? Would you have the discipline to handle financial success? Would you have the emotional maturity to sustain a strong relationship? Would you have the wisdom to lead others if you haven't first learned how to follow? Most people want the reward without the refinement. But true blessings don't just come to those who ask, they come to those who are prepared to receive. Are you being prepared right now? So how do you know if God is preparing you for something big? There are signs, clear, undeniable signs that show He is at work in your life right now. And once you recognize them, everything will start to make sense. You will stop feeling frustrated. You will stop feeling stuck. Instead, you will start to see your struggles as part of the process. And that's exactly what we're going to uncover in this message. Stay with me, because in the next section, we'll dive into the first powerful sign that proves God is preparing you for a breakthrough. If you've ever felt like your life is shifting in unexpected ways, this next part will open your eyes to a truth that changes everything. Your breakthrough is coming. But first, you must recognize the preparation. Let's keep going. Have you ever felt like your life is being turned upside down? Like everything you once depended on is slipping away? You try to hold on, but the more you resist, the more things seem to change against your will. It feels like chaos. It feels like loss. But what if this discomfort isn't random? What if it's the very proof that God is preparing you for something greater? Most people think blessings arrive wrapped in comfort, but that's not how transformation works. Growth doesn't happen in ease. It happens in challenge. And if your life is going through a shift right now, you might be standing at the doorway of something new. The question is, will you trust the process or will you fight to hold on to what is no longer meant for you? Why God removes comfort to make room for growth psychology tells us that the human mind clings to familiarity even when it's harmful. People stay in toxic relationships because they fear being alone. They stay in unfulfilling jobs because they fear uncertainty. They hold on to old versions of themselves because stepping into the unknown feels terrifying. But here's the truth. The life you want requires you to let go of the life you've outgrown. When God is preparing you for a blessing, He often removes the things that no longer serve you. At first, it feels like loss. Friendships fade. Opportunities close. The things that once felt stable start to shake. But this is not a sign of failure. It's a sign that you are outgrowing your old life. Think of a seed underground. In the beginning, it looks like nothing is happening. The soil is dark, the environment is tight, and there's no sign of progress. But beneath the surface, transformation is taking place. The seed is breaking. Its old form is being destroyed so that something new can emerge. If the seed could feel, it would probably think it was being buried, but in reality, it was being planted. This is what happens when God prepares you. He breaks the old so He can build the new. He removes comfort so you can grow. And if you are in a season where everything is shifting, it is not a punishment. It is a sign that you are being prepared for something greater. Why resistance delays your breakthrough? Here's where most people go wrong. They resist the transition. They try to force old doors to stay open. They chase relationships that God has already closed. They hold on to what is familiar, even when it no longer fits. And in doing so, they delay the blessing that was meant for them. Imagine someone standing in front of a locked door, banging on it with all their strength, demanding it to open. Meanwhile, right behind them, a new door is wide open, leading to something far greater. But because they are so focused on what they lost, they can't see what's ahead. This is what happens when you refuse to let go. You stay stuck in frustration, missing the opportunity that is right in front of you. But the moment you surrender, the moment you trust that what is leaving your life is making space for something better, everything changes. How to recognize when you're in a divine transition. So how do you know if you are in this phase of preparation? There are clear signs. Things that once felt right suddenly feel wrong. That job you once loved now drains you. The friends you once connected with now feel distant. Your spirit is restless, sensing that something bigger is calling you. Opportunities you counted on suddenly disappear. The promotion you expected doesn't happen. The relationship you thought would last comes to an end. The plan you created falls apart. But instead of trying to force things back to how they were, recognize that God is redirecting you to something greater. You feel like you're losing control. No matter how hard you try, nothing seems to go the way you planned. This is a sign that God is asking you to trust Him, not your own understanding. You feel an inner push to change. Even if your circumstances haven't shifted yet, deep inside you know you can't stay the same. Your desires are changing. Your priorities are shifting. What used to excite you no longer does. This is the spiritual signal that something new is coming. The key to moving forward: surrender. The only way to receive what's next is to release what was. You cannot walk into your future while clinging to your past. And yes, letting go is hard. Change is uncomfortable. But the pain of staying stuck is far worse than the discomfort of growth. Trust that God would not remove something from your life unless He had something better to replace it. Trust that if He is closing doors, it's because they are no longer meant for you. and trust that every uncomfortable transition is leading you toward the blessing you've been praying for. You are not being abandoned. You are not being forgotten. You are being prepared. The only question is, will you fight against it, or will you trust that what's coming is greater than what's gone? Your discomfort has a purpose. Your transition is not a mistake. You are being guided towards something bigger than you can imagine. The only thing left to do is step forward in faith. Why does it seem like every time you get close to a breakthrough, something slows you down? You pray for a new opportunity, but the door doesn't open. You work hard, but progress feels painfully slow. You see others moving forward, but you feel stuck. It's frustrating, it's discouraging, and in moments like these, doubt starts creeping in. But here's the truth. Just because something is delayed does not mean it's denied. A delay is often a sign that God is working behind the scenes, putting things in place that you cannot yet see. What feels like a setback is actually divine protection. What looks like rejection is often redirection. And when you learn to trust the timing instead of resisting it, everything changes. Why some doors stay closed longer than expected? The human mind craves certainty. It wants immediate answers, instant results, and quick rewards. But true blessings are not given to those who rush ahead. They are given to those who are patient enough to receive them at the right time. Think about this. If you give a child the keys to a car before they're ready to drive, what happens? They crash. The same applies to life. If you receive something before you're prepared to handle it, it can destroy you. That relationship you wanted so badly, maybe you needed more healing before stepping into it. That job you prayed for, maybe it required a level of maturity you hadn't yet developed. That financial breakthrough, maybe you needed to learn discipline before it arrived. This is why some doors stay closed longer than expected. It's not because you are forgotten, it's because you are being protected. God sees the full picture while you only see a small part. And when he delays something, it's not to punish you, it's to prepare you. The danger of forcing what's not ready, when people don't understand the purpose of a delay, they try to force things before their time. They rush into relationships that aren't meant for them. They take shortcuts to success instead of building a strong foundation. They settle for what's available instead of waiting for what's best. And in doing so, they create unnecessary pain and struggle. Think about a fruit that's picked too soon. It looks ready on the outside, but when you taste it, it's bitter. It hasn't developed its full sweetness because it wasn't given enough time to ripen. The same is true for life's blessings. When you force something that's not fully prepared, you miss out on the beauty it was meant to bring. The key is to trust the process. If something is truly meant for you, no force on earth can stop it. And if something is being delayed, it's because the right time hasn't arrived yet. How to handle waiting without losing faith? Waiting is one of the hardest things to do. It tests your patience, your faith, and your ability to trust when you don't see results. But there are ways to navigate the waiting season without feeling defeated. Shift your focus from when to who. Instead of obsessing over when something will happen, focus on who you are becoming in the process. Growth happens in the waiting. Strength is built in the waiting. Faith is deepened in the waiting. Stop comparing your timeline to others. Everyone's journey is different. Just because someone else received their breakthrough doesn't mean you've been overlooked. What's meant for you will come in its own time. Use the delay to prepare. Instead of sitting in frustration, ask yourself, how can I grow during this time? What skills can I develop? What habits can I strengthen? Waiting is not wasted when you use it to build yourself for the next level. Remember past delays that led to blessings. Look back at moments in your life when things didn't go as planned, but in the end, they worked out even better. Remind yourself that this delay will one day make sense too. The breakthrough always comes after the test. In every great story, there is a moment where things seem impossible. A moment where the main character is pushed to their limit. It looks like all hope is lost, but then, just when it seems like nothing is working, the breakthrough comes. This isn't just something that happens in movies, it's the reality of life. The biggest blessings often come right after the hardest tests. And if you are in a waiting season right now, it doesn't mean you're being ignored. It means you are closer than ever. Don't give up because things are taking longer than you expected. Don't lose faith because the answer isn't here yet. Keep preparing, keep believing, keep trusting, because when the timing is right, what is meant for you will arrive and nothing will be able to stop it. Why does life seem to get harder right before something great happens? You start moving in the right direction, but suddenly obstacles appear. You pray for a breakthrough, but instead of doors opening, more challenges come your way. It doesn't make sense. It feels unfair. But what if these difficulties aren't signs of failure? What if they are the final tests before your blessing arrives? Every great achievement requires preparation. Every major blessing requires responsibility. And before you step into something new, you are tested to see if you're truly ready. Why? Tests come before breakthroughs. Psychology tells us that the human brain learns best through resistance. Muscles grow when they are stretched. Intelligence deepens when problems are solved. Resilience strengthens when obstacles are overcome. Without challenges, there is no growth. The same principle applies to your spiritual journey. When God is preparing you for something greater, He allows you to be tested. Not to break you, but to strengthen you. Not to discourage you, but to equip you. Because the truth is, if you receive a blessing before you are ready, you won't be able to handle it. Think about a bridge that hasn't been tested. It may look strong on the outside, but if it's never been exposed to weight, stress, or pressure, no one can trust it to hold anything heavy. The same is true for life. Before you carry the weight of a new blessing, you must be tested to prove you can hold it. How to recognize when you're being tested? The tests before blessing don't always look obvious. They often come disguised as frustrations, setbacks, or situations that push your limits. But there are signs that reveal when you are being tested. You face increased resistance. Everything seems harder than usual. Unexpected problems arise. People who once supported you begin to doubt you. The road feels uphill, making you question whether you're even on the right path. Your patience is stretched. Things aren't happening as fast as you'd like. Delays come out of nowhere. You are forced to wait longer than expected, and in the process, you learn the true meaning of patience. You are tested in areas where you were once weak. If you've struggled with self-doubt, the test will challenge your confidence. If you've battled fear, the test will require boldness. These tests aren't here to defeat you. They are here to prove that you've outgrown your past struggles. Opportunities come that don't align with your values. Right before a major blessing, distractions often appear. Shortcuts will tempt you. Quick rewards will try to pull you off track. But these moments are not signs of progress. They are tests to see if you will stay true to your purpose. How to pass the test and step into your blessing. Most people fail the test because they misinterpret it. They see struggle and assume they're on the wrong path. They face delays and assume they've been forgotten. But those who succeed, the ones who step into their blessings, understand one powerful truth. Tests are not meant to stop you. They are meant to prepare you. So, how do you pass the test? Stay faithful, even when it's hard. Keep doing the right thing, even when you don't see immediate results. Keep believing, even when doubt tries to take over. The test is about proving you can be trusted with what's coming. Remain patient under pressure. The easy way out will always look tempting, but real strength is built in perseverance. The longer you hold on, the stronger you become. Trust that challenges are making you stronger. Every obstacle is refining you. Every delay is teaching you something. Every closed door is guiding you toward the right one. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this preparing me for? Stay true to your values. When distractions appear, when shortcuts try to tempt you, when things get tough, hold on to what you believe in. Integrity leads to lasting blessings, the reward on the other side. Think back to a time when you overcame something difficult. Maybe it was a season of struggle, a period of waiting, or a test of endurance. At the time, it felt overwhelming, but looking back, you can see how it shaped you. It made you stronger, it prepared you, and because of it, you were able to step into something greater. This is the pattern of life. Every great blessing comes after a great test. Every breakthrough follows a season of struggle. And if you are being tested right now, take heart. It is a sign that something greater is on the way. Don't quit. Don't give in. Don't let frustration steal your faith. What's ahead is far greater than what's behind. The only thing standing between you and your blessing is your ability to endure the test. Keep going, keep believing, because when the test is over, you will step into something far greater than you ever imagined. Why do some blessings take so long to arrive? Why do certain prayers seem unanswered? The truth is, sometimes the delay isn't because you're unprepared, it's because you're holding on to something that's blocking your blessing. Letting go is one of the hardest things to do. The human mind is wired to cling to what feels familiar, even when it no longer serves us. It holds on to past hurts, expired relationships, outdated beliefs, and unnecessary burdens. But here's the reality. Until you release what no longer belongs in your life, you can't receive what's meant for you. The hidden weight you're carrying. Imagine climbing a mountain while carrying a heavy backpack. At first, you manage to keep moving. But as you go higher, the weight slows you down. The climb becomes harder. And eventually you reach a point where you can't move forward unless you drop the extra weight. This is exactly what happens in life. Many people struggle not because they aren't capable, but because they are carrying things that no longer belong to them. Emotional baggage from the past, bitterness toward those who hurt them, fear of stepping into the unknown, regret over missed opportunities. These things act as weights slowing down progress. The longer you hold on, the more it drains your energy, steals your joy, and keeps you stuck. But the moment you release what's weighing you down, you create space for something better. Signs you need to let go sometimes. It's not obvious that something is holding you back, but there are signs. You feel mentally or emotionally exhausted. When something is no longer meant for you, it drains your energy instead of fueling it. You feel tired, stuck, or unmotivated. You keep replaying the past. If your mind constantly goes back to old situations, reliving mistakes, regrets, or painful experiences, it's a sign that you haven't fully let go. You fear losing control. Holding on is often a way of trying to control the outcome. But true growth happens when you trust the process and release what's not in your hands. You sense deep inside that something needs to change. Intuition speaks in whispers, a quiet nudge, a feeling in your heart, an inner knowing that it's time to move forward. But fear keeps you from taking the next step. The truth about letting go doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean you're weak. It simply means you are making space for something better. Think about a tree in autumn. The leaves begin to change color and eventually fall to the ground. But the tree isn't dying, it's preparing for a new season. Shedding the old makes way for fresh growth in the spring. The same is true in life. Some things have to be released so that new blessings can take their place. Letting go also means trusting that what is truly meant for you will never require you to hold onto it in fear. Healthy relationships don't require begging. The right opportunities don't require manipulation. And true peace doesn't come from forcing things to stay the same. It comes from surrendering to what is meant to be. How to release and make room for blessings. Forgive the past. Holding on to resentment or regret only keeps you chained to the past. Forgiveness doesn't mean what happened was okay. It means you're no longer allowing it to control your future. Trust that endings are often new beginnings. Just because something is ending doesn't mean your life is falling apart. Sometimes things fall away so that better things can take their place. Detach from the need to control everything. Not everything is meant to be figured out right away. Some answers only come with time. Trust that what's meant for you is on its way. Surround yourself with people who encourage growth. The right people will remind you that you're not losing anything. You're making room for something greater. The blessing comes after the release. Think about what happens when you unclench your fist. The moment you stop gripping tightly, your hand is open, ready to receive. This is the power of letting go. When you release what no longer serves you, you create space for something new. Every great breakthrough, every major transformation, every life-changing blessing is preceded by a moment of release. A moment when you decide to stop looking backward and start stepping forward. The question is, what are you holding on to that you need to let go of? What is weighing you down that is keeping you from moving forward? Because the sooner you release it, the sooner the blessing that's meant for you can arrive. Why does waiting feel so difficult? Why does it seem like time moves slower when you're expecting something great to happen? You pray, you prepare, you let go of what no longer serves you, but then nothing. Silence, no signs, no movement. It's in this season that many people give up. They assume their blessing isn't coming. They mistake the delay for denial. But waiting is never wasted time. It's in the waiting that your faith is strengthened. It's in the waiting that your patience is refined. And most importantly, it's in the waiting that you are being prepared for what's ahead. Because sometimes the blessing isn't delayed. You are still being developed. Why waiting feels like a test? Human psychology reveals that people struggle with uncertainty because the brain craves control. The unknown triggers discomfort. It makes you anxious. It makes you question your path. And when things don't happen on your timeline, doubt creeps in. But what if the waiting isn't meant to frustrate you? What if it's meant to build you? Every seed planted in the ground goes through an unseen process before it breaks through the soil. Just because you don't see results doesn't mean nothing is happening. Growth is happening beneath the surface. Roots are forming, foundations are strengthening, and when the time is right, what has been hidden will bloom. Signs you're in a season of waiting. Doors seem closed no matter how hard you try. You've done everything right, yet nothing seems to move. But this isn't rejection, it's redirection. What's truly meant for you will never require force. You feel like time is standing still. It seems like everyone else is moving forward while you're stuck. But comparison is the enemy of peace. Everyone has their own season. Just because someone else is receiving their blessing doesn't mean yours isn't on the way. You're being forced to develop patience. If you've always struggled with waiting, this season will test you. But patience isn't just about waiting. It's about how you wait. Will you wait with frustration or will you wait with faith? You feel a deep inner knowing that something is coming. Even if nothing around you looks different, there's a quiet voice inside telling you to hold on. That's not your imagination, it's preparation. Something is shifting. What to do while you wait? Many people waste their waiting season by complaining. They focus on what hasn't happened instead of preparing for what's coming. But the most successful people in life, the ones who truly step into their blessings, use their waiting season wisely. Strengthen your mindset. Instead of seeing this as a time of delay, see it as a time of development. Read, learn, and grow. Become the person who is ready to receive the blessing. Stay consistent in what you can control. Just because things aren't happening as fast as you want doesn't mean you should stop working toward your goals. Keep showing up. Keep putting in the effort, because when your time comes, you will be ready. Trust that what's ahead is greater than what's behind. If something hasn't happened yet, it means either A, it's not the right time, or B, something even better is coming. Either way, waiting isn't a punishment. It's a setup for something greater. Stay grateful in the present moment. It's easy to become so focused on the future that you forget the blessings you already have. Gratitude changes your energy. It shifts your focus. And when you appreciate what you have, you attract more of what you desire. The blessing of perfect timing. Think about a time when something finally happened in your life at the right moment. Maybe you didn't understand the delays before, but once it arrived, everything made sense. The timing was perfect. This is how life works. If something isn't happening yet, it's not because you've been forgotten. It's because the timing isn't right yet. And when the right moment arrives, things will align effortlessly. The doors that were once closed will swing open. The opportunities that seemed impossible will become reality. And when you look back, you will understand why the wait was necessary. So don't give up. Don't lose faith. What's coming is worth the wait, because the greatest blessings in life don't come when you want them. They come when you're truly ready for them. Keep believing. Keep preparing, because when the time is right, nothing can stop what's meant for you. Why does fear creep in when you're closest to your breakthrough? Why does doubt whisper in your ear just when you're about to step into something greater? Because fear is the mind's way of keeping you safe. The brain is wired for survival, not for growth. It clings to the familiar, even if the familiar is keeping you stuck. It tells you to play it safe, to wait, to hesitate, because stepping into the unknown feels risky. But what if the thing you fear is actually the doorway to your blessing? What if the hesitation, the anxiety, and the resistance are not signs to stop, but signs that you are on the verge of something life-changing? How fear blocks your blessings. Fear is a thief. It steals time, it steals joy, and it steals opportunities. Many people spend years waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect sign, the perfect situation, only to look back and realize they were never really waiting. They were afraid. Fear convinces you that you're not ready. It tells you that you don't have enough experience, that you don't know enough, that you need more time. But the truth is, you will never feel fully ready. Growth happens in action, not in waiting. Doubt makes you question your path. It whispers, what if this isn't meant for you? What if you fail? What if you're wrong? But here's what most people don't realize. Doubt always shows up before a breakthrough. It's a test. And if you listen to it, you stop yourself before you even begin. Anxiety keeps you stuck in what ifs. Your mind plays out every possible scenario where things go wrong. But the truth is, the biggest regrets in life aren't from the risks you took. They're from the chances you didn't take. Fear makes comfort feel like the best option. It convinces you that staying where you are is safer than stepping into the unknown. But deep down, you know the truth. Nothing great comes from staying the same. Why fear shows up before a blessing. Every person who has ever accomplished something great has faced fear. Every success story begins with uncertainty. Every breakthrough is preceded by hesitation. This is because fear doesn't mean stop, it means go forward anyway. The enemy of growth isn't failure, it's hesitation. The people who succeed in life aren't those who never feel fear. They're the ones who feel it and take action anyway. They understand that fear isn't a stop sign, it's a sign that they are stepping into new territory. Fear shows up strongest when you're closest to your breakthrough because it wants to test you. It wants to see if you are really committed. It wants to see if you truly believe in the path you are walking. And the moment you push past it, everything shifts. How to overcome fear and step into your blessing. Recognize fear for what it is. A feeling, not a fact. Just because you feel afraid doesn't mean something bad will happen. Fear is a reaction, but courage is a decision. Stop overthinking and start moving. Fear grows in the space of hesitation. The longer you wait, the more excuses your mind will create. The key is to act before fear has time to convince you otherwise. Shift your mindset from what if I fail to what if I succeed. Most people assume the worst, but what if the risk you take leads to the best thing that ever happened to you? Take small steps forward even when you're afraid. You don't have to make a giant leap. Just take one step, then another, and before you know it, fear has lost its power over you. Remind yourself that fear and faith cannot exist in the same space. You can either let fear control your future, or you can let faith lead the way, but you can't do both. The choice is yours. The blessing is on the other side of fear. Every time you choose faith over fear, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your doubt. Every time you move forward, even when you're afraid, you take back control of your destiny. The truth is, the biggest blessings in life don't come when you feel ready. They come when you feel scared, but do it anyway. Fear will always try to hold you back. But your breakthrough, your growth, and your greatest blessings are waiting on the other side. So step forward, keep going, because what's ahead is greater than anything fear is trying to keep you from. Why is it so hard to trust the process? Why does it feel like things aren't working out, even when you're doing everything right? Because the journey to blessings isn't always a straight road. Sometimes it feels like a maze. You take one step forward and get pushed 2 steps back. You pray for clarity, but get silence instead. You work hard, but results don't come as fast as you expected. It's frustrating, it's confusing, and it's in these moments that doubt begins to whisper, maybe it's not meant for you. But that's the mistake most people make. They think delays mean denial. They assume struggle means they're on the wrong path. But what if the struggle is part of the process? What if every challenge is preparing you, not punishing you? The hidden purpose behind delay psychology reveals that the human brain craves instant results. It's wired to seek quick rewards. When things don't happen immediately, frustration builds. This is why most people quit too soon. They don't realize that progress is happening beneath the surface. Delays build character. If every blessing came instantly, you wouldn't develop patience, resilience, or strength. Struggles shape you into the person who can handle the blessing when it arrives. Obstacles test your commitment. How badly do you want it? Many people give up at the first sign of difficulty, but those who truly trust the process keep going even when nothing makes sense. Redirection is protection. Sometimes the things you thought you wanted weren't actually right for you. The delay isn't rejection, it's a divine redirection towards something even better. Your preparation takes time. The blessing you are praying for requires a version of you that is stronger, wiser, and more disciplined. The process is shaping you into that person. Why things feel like they're falling apart? There comes a moment in every person's journey when things seem to fall apart. What once felt secure suddenly feels shaky. Doors that were once open start to close. People who were once there for you begin to fade away. And in these moments, it's easy to ask, why is this happening? But here's the truth. Things often fall apart before something greater comes together. Growth isn't always comfortable. Transformation requires discomfort. The caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly without breaking out of its cocoon. The seed doesn't become a tree without breaking through the soil. Your struggles are not proof that you're failing. They are proof that you are growing. The discomfort you feel is not punishment, it's preparation. You are shedding the old to make space for the new. How to trust the process when you can't see the outcome. Stop trying to control everything. The need for control creates anxiety. Let go of the obsession with timelines and trust that everything is unfolding at the right pace. Focus on small daily actions instead of worrying about how far you have to go. Focus on what you can do today. Progress happens in small, consistent steps. Remind yourself of past victories. Think about a time when you thought things wouldn't work out, but they did. If it happened before, it will happen again. Detach from the outcome. Let go of how you think things should happen. Sometimes the greatest blessings come in ways you never expected. Surround yourself with faith, not fear. Fear thrives in uncertainty, but faith reminds you that even when you can't see the full picture, something greater is happening behind the scenes. Breakthroughs happen when you least expect them. Have you ever noticed that the biggest moments in life often come out of nowhere? You struggle for months, maybe years with no results. Then suddenly everything shifts. The right opportunity appears. The right person enters your life. The door that was once locked swings open effortlessly. That's how breakthroughs work. They don't come when you expect them. They come when you're ready for them. This is why trusting the process is so important. If you quit too soon, you miss out on everything that was meant for you. But if you stay the course, if you keep believing, even when things don't make sense, you will look back and realize that everything was happening for you, not to you. So don't let delays discourage you. Don't let struggles make you question your worth, because every setback, every challenge, and every disappointment is preparing you for something far greater than you could ever imagine. Why do some people receive their blessings sooner than others? Why does it feel like some are accelerating in life while you're stuck waiting? It's easy to look around and compare. It's tempting to think that if things aren't happening quickly, they may never happen at all. But that's the biggest mistake people make. They confuse waiting with wasting time. They assume that because they can't see progress, nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, everything is shifting into place. The illusion of delay, psychologists have studied the way people perceive time, and one thing is clear. When you focus on what you lack, time feels slower. When you focus on what others have, impatience grows. And when impatience takes over, frustration clouds your ability to see the bigger picture. Time is not working against you, it's working for you. When you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You trust the process. But when it comes to life, most people lose patience. They stop believing in what they can't see. You don't control the timeline, only your preparation. Imagine getting the blessing you're praying for today. but you're not mentally, emotionally, or spiritually ready for it. It wouldn't last. That's why there's a gap between the desire and the reward. The waiting period is your training ground. Comparison will always make you feel behind. The truth is, everyone is running a different race. Some people may appear to be ahead, but you don't know what struggles they've faced behind the scenes. Just because their moment came sooner doesn't mean yours isn't on the way. Why the waiting season is necessary, most people think waiting is passive. But in reality, waiting is active preparation. It's a time of building, learning, and refining. It's not about sitting around. It's about becoming the person who is ready to receive. Patience builds resilience. If everything came easy, no one would value what they receive. Struggles create strength. Delays create endurance. When your moment comes, you won't just have the blessing. You'll have the wisdom to sustain it. Hidden lessons are revealed in the waiting. Most people rush the process and miss the lesson. They want the outcome, but reject the preparation. But wisdom comes from the journey, not just the destination. Not every opportunity is a blessing. If you got everything you ever wanted the moment you asked for it, you would have accepted things that weren't truly meant for you. The waiting period filters out distractions and aligns you with what is right, not just what is available. Shifting your mindset from frustration to faith. It's human nature to want things fast, but the most powerful shift happens when you move from frustration to faith. Instead of thinking, why is this taking so long? Start asking, what is this time preparing me for? Release the pressure of deadlines. Society tells you that success must happen by a certain age, but life doesn't follow man-made timelines. Some of the most successful people in history didn't step into their purpose until later in life. Timing is personal. Trust that unseen progress is still progress. Just because you don't see movement doesn't mean things aren't shifting. A tree grows underground before it ever breaks through the soil. The same is happening in your life. Focus on what you can control. Instead of obsessing over when something will happen, focus on how you are preparing for it. Growth isn't about waiting, it's about working toward the blessing, even when you don't see results yet. When the right time comes, it will happen fast. One of the most powerful truths in life is this: when it's your time, nothing can stop it. What once felt delayed will suddenly fall into place. What once seemed out of reach will become effortless. The struggle isn't forever. The waiting isn't wasted. The lesson isn't pointless. Everything is coming together in divine timing. So instead of focusing on how long it's taking, focus on becoming the person who is ready to receive it. Because when your moment arrives, it won't just be a blessing, it will be proof that the wait was always worth it. Why is it that right before a breakthrough, life seems to get even harder? Why do the biggest blessings come after the most painful struggles? Because every great blessing is preceded by a test. Not a test to break you, but a test to prove you. A test to see if you truly believe in what you've been asking for. A test to determine whether you're ready to handle what's coming. Most people give up right before their breakthrough. They take delays as a sign to quit. They assume obstacles mean they're on the wrong path. But in reality, obstacles are often confirmation that you're getting closer. Why things get harder before they get better? Psychology explains that when people are closest to reaching a goal, their minds often start looking for reasons to quit. It's called goal fatigue. When you've been pushing for something for a long time with no immediate results, your brain tries to convince you that it's not worth it. Doubt becomes louder. The closer you get to your blessing, the more your mind will try to talk you out of it. It will tell you that you're not ready, that it's taking too long, that maybe it's not for you. But that's a lie. Distractions appear out of nowhere. Have you ever noticed that right when you decide to stay committed, temptations show up? People from your past return. New opportunities arise that look good, but don't align with your purpose. These distractions aren't coincidences. They're tests to see if you're truly focused. Obstacles intensify. Right before major breakthroughs, struggles often reach their peak. But this isn't a sign to stop. It's a sign to push forward. The pressure isn't punishment. It's preparation. Emotions become unstable. One day you feel confident, the next day you're filled with doubt. One moment you believe, the next moment you question everything. This emotional roller coaster is common before a breakthrough, It's part of the process. How to keep pushing when you feel like giving up? Remember why you started. Go back to the reason you began this journey. What was the vision that pushed you forward in the first place? Remind yourself of that every single day. Ignore the distractions. Not everything that looks good is good for you. Stay focused on what truly matters. Trust that pressure means progress. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Muscles grow through resistance. The struggle isn't stopping you, it's shaping you. Detach from the timeline. Stop stressing over when it will happen. Just focus on what you need to do today. The right time is never late. What happens right before the blessing arrives? Most people assume blessings come with ease, but in reality, they often come right after the hardest moments. If you feel like you're being tested right now, if life feels more difficult than ever, that's not a sign to quit. It's a sign that something big is coming. Doors that were once closed will suddenly open. Opportunities will appear in places you never expected. Connections will be made effortlessly. What once felt impossible will start to feel natural. The right people will enter your life. People who align with your purpose will begin to show up. They will encourage you, support you, and push you forward. Things will shift in your favor quickly. The struggles you faced for years will suddenly make sense. The lessons you learned will prepare you for the blessing you're about to receive. You will realize why the wait was necessary. Once the blessing arrives, you'll look back and understand why you had to go through everything. The delays, the disappointments, the lessons, they were all leading you to this moment. The test is not meant to break you. It's meant to prove that you are ready. So don't quit now. Don't let doubt win, because the moment you decide to keep going, despite the struggle, is the moment you step into everything you've been praying for. Why do some people struggle to receive blessings, even when they pray for them? Why do opportunities seem to slip away just when they are within reach? The truth is, you cannot receive something new while still holding on to the old. You cannot step into the next chapter of your life while still clinging to past pain, toxic relationships, limiting beliefs, and old habits that no longer serve you. Most people want blessings, but they are not willing to make space for them. They ask for abundance while holding on to a scarcity mindset. They pray for love while staying attached to people who hurt them. They desire growth, but refuse to step outside their comfort zone. This is why one of the biggest tests before a breakthrough is the test of release. The moment you prove you're willing to let go, you show that you are ready to receive. Why holding on to the past blocks your blessings. Psychology teaches that the human brain resists change. Even when change is necessary, the mind prefers the familiar. This is why people stay in situations that no longer serve them. This is why they tolerate unhealthy relationships, unfulfilling jobs, and limiting beliefs that keep them stuck. The mind seeks comfort even in pain. Letting go feels uncomfortable because the mind associates familiarity with safety. Even if a situation is unhealthy, the brain would rather stay where it feels secure than step into the unknown. Old habits keep you trapped in old results. If you want a different outcome, you must adopt different behaviors. But most people want new blessings without changing their patterns. They hold on to their old ways and wonder why nothing changes. Fear of the unknown creates resistance. The biggest reason people struggle to release the past is fear. Fear of what comes next. Fear of losing control. Fear of stepping into something unfamiliar. But growth and fear exist on the same path. You cannot embrace one without facing the other. Your hands must be empty to receive something new. Imagine trying to pick up a new gift while your hands are full of old baggage. You wouldn't be able to grasp it. The same applies to life. You must first release before you can receive. What you must let go of to step into your blessings. Letting go is not just about removing external things. It is about releasing the internal barriers that keep you from receiving what is meant for you. Let go of toxic relationships. Some people are not meant to go where you are headed. If a relationship drains your energy, diminishes your self-worth, or keeps you stuck in cycles of pain, it is a sign that it is time to move forward. Let go of limiting beliefs. Your thoughts create your reality. If you believe you are not worthy, not capable, or not enough, you will continue to manifest situations that reflect that. Shift your mindset and your life will follow. Let go of the need for control. Many people block their blessings because they try to dictate how and when things should happen. But the greatest breakthroughs come when you surrender and trust the process. Let go of past failures. Carrying guilt, shame, or regret from past mistakes only weighs you down. You are not your past. Every failure was a lesson, and every setback prepared you for something greater. Let go of distractions. Sometimes the biggest obstacle to receiving a blessing is a life filled with unnecessary noise. Social media, negative influences, mindless entertainment. If it does not align with your growth, it is keeping you from it. How to let go and prepare for what's next. Releasing the old is not just about removing, it is about replacing. When you let go of what no longer serves you, you must fill that space with things that align with your purpose. Replace doubt with faith. When fear tells you to hold on, remind yourself that everything being removed is making space for something better. Trust that what is meant for you will not pass you by. Replace procrastination with action. If you know you need to walk away from a situation, don't wait for the perfect moment. The longer you delay, the harder it becomes. Start taking small steps today. Replace negativity with gratitude. Instead of focusing on what you are losing, focus on what you are gaining. Every ending is a new beginning. Every release is an invitation for something greater. Replace old habits with new discipline. If you truly want change, you must commit to the actions that align with your new path. Success is built on small daily choices, the reward of letting go. Most people fear letting go because they think it will leave them empty. But the reality is, letting go does not leave you with less. It prepares you for more. Once you release what is not meant for you, doors that seem closed will begin to open. People who align with your future will begin to appear. Opportunities that once felt out of reach will become effortless. Letting go is not losing, it is gaining clarity. It is creating space for the blessings that were waiting for you all along. And the moment you fully embrace that, your life will transform in ways you never imagined. Have you ever felt like you were doing everything right, yet nothing seemed to change? You let go of what no longer serves you. You work hard, you stay faithful, but the breakthrough still hasn't arrived. It's in these moments that frustration builds, doubt creeps in, and impatience starts to take over. But what if the delay isn't a denial? What if the waiting period is part of the preparation? Too often, people give up right before their breakthrough because they mistake silence for absence, delay for rejection. But in reality, there is a reason why blessings don't come all at once. There is a reason why the things you desire take time. Patience is not just about waiting, it's about how you wait. It's about trusting that what's meant for you is already in motion, even when you can't see it yet. It's about preparing, refining, and strengthening yourself so that when the blessing arrives, you are fully ready to receive it. The psychology behind waiting, human nature craves instant results. The mind is wired for immediate gratification. This is why people get frustrated when they don't see immediate rewards for their effort. But the greatest things in life take time to develop. Nothing truly valuable happens overnight. Waiting teaches discipline. If everything came instantly, there would be no growth. The delay forces you to stay consistent even when results aren't visible. This is where true character is built. Waiting removes distractions. Sometimes the delay isn't about the blessing, it's about you. It's about removing the things that would interfere with your ability to handle what's coming. If certain people or habits are still in your life, they could block the very thing you've been praying for. Waiting builds appreciation. The longer you wait, the more you value what you receive. People who get things too easily often take them for granted. But when you've endured, sacrificed, and remained faithful through the waiting, you will cherish your blessing in a way others won't. Waiting aligns the timing. Just because you are ready for a blessing doesn't mean the conditions around you are. Certain opportunities require the right timing, the right people, and the right circumstances. If you rush into something before it's fully prepared, you risk losing it. How to handle delays without losing faith. Most people fail the test of waiting because they allow impatience to turn into frustration. They let doubt take over. They start questioning if they are on the right path. But the key is to shift your mindset, to see waiting not as a punishment, but as a process. Shift from frustration to focus. Instead of complaining about how long it's taking, ask yourself, what can I do in this season to prepare? Use the time to develop yourself, gain wisdom, and refine your skills. Your preparation today determines your success tomorrow. Shift from doubt to faith. The mind plays tricks when things don't happen fast enough. It whispers, maybe it's not meant for you. But that is a lie. Just because you can't see movement doesn't mean things aren't happening. Trust the unseen. Trust that what's meant for you is already in progress. Shift from comparison to confidence. Nothing kills patience faster than looking at someone else's journey. You see others succeeding and you wonder why it hasn't happened for you yet. But comparison is dangerous because it makes you question your own path. Stay focused on your own lane. What's meant for you is on its way, at the right time in the right way. Shift from waiting to working. You don't just sit still while waiting for a blessing. You actively prepare. If you're praying for a better opportunity, are you developing the skills to handle it? If you're asking for love, are you becoming the person who can sustain a healthy relationship? Blessings require responsibility. Use this time to build the foundation for what's coming. The breakthrough always comes right on time. Think about a seed planted in the ground. You water it daily, but for weeks there is no visible growth. Nothing seems to change, but what you don't see is what's happening beneath the surface. The roots are forming, the structure is strengthening, and when the time is right, the sprout breaks through. Your breakthrough is the same. Just because you don't see progress doesn't mean it's not happening. Everything is moving into place, aligning in ways you cannot yet understand. The moment you need it most, the doors will open, the opportunity will come, and you will realize the wait was necessary. Patience is not about standing still. It's about trusting that while you are waiting, things are working. It's about knowing that every delay has a purpose, and when the blessing finally arrives, you'll see why it couldn't have come a second sooner. Why do so many people feel stuck even when they're doing everything right? Why do they feel like something is blocking them from receiving the blessings they've been waiting for? The answer is simple. You cannot receive something new while still holding on to the past. So many people pray for change, but deep inside, they are still chained to the very things that are holding them back. They ask for success, but they are still holding on to old failures. They ask for love, but they are still carrying past heartbreak. They ask for new opportunities, but they are still living in fear of past mistakes. You can't step into your future if your hands are full of yesterday's burdens. Letting go is not easy. The mind resists change. It clings to what is familiar, even if that familiarity is painful. But holding on to what no longer serves you is like carrying a heavy weight on your back. It slows you down, it drains your energy, it keeps you from moving forward. If you truly want to step into a season of blessings, you must first clear the space for them to enter. Why the past holds so much power over you, psychologists say that the brain is wired for patterns. It finds comfort in the known, even if the known is painful. This is why people repeat toxic relationships, stay in unfulfilling jobs, and live with regret over things they can't change. The mind creates loops. And if you're not aware of them, you will find yourself living the same cycle over and over again. Unhealed wounds keep you trapped. If you are still bitter about what happened in the past, you are emotionally stuck in that moment. You may have moved on physically, but mentally and emotionally, you are still reliving the pain. And as long as that pain controls you, you are blocking new blessings from coming in. Fear of the unknown keeps you from taking action. Some people would rather stay in a familiar struggle than step into an unfamiliar opportunity. Why? Because the unknown is scary. The mind prefers what it understands, even if it's limiting. But growth requires stepping into uncertainty. It requires trusting that what's ahead is greater than what's behind. Negative self-beliefs stop you from seeing your true potential. If you keep telling yourself the same story, I'm not good enough, I always fail, I don't deserve happiness, then you are programming your mind to reject opportunities. You cannot attract new blessings while carrying an identity rooted in failure. How to release the past and open yourself to new blessings. Letting go is not about forgetting. It's about freeing yourself. It's about freeing yourself. It's about choosing to move forward instead of remaining stuck in what was. Here's how you begin the process. Acknowledge what you are holding on to. Ask yourself, what past pain, failure, or regret is still shaping your decisions today? Be honest. You can't let go of something if you don't even realize you're holding it. Forgive yourself and others. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Forgiveness is not about excusing what happened. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of carrying it. Rewrite your inner narrative. Instead of seeing yourself as someone who was hurt, start seeing yourself as someone who overcame. Instead of seeing yourself as someone who failed, start seeing yourself as someone who learned. The way you define your past determines how you step into your future. Focus on what you can control. The past cannot be changed, but the future is in your hands. The energy you spend dwelling on yesterday could be used to build tomorrow. Shift your focus from what's lost to what's possible. Step forward, even if it's uncomfortable. The first steps into a new life always feel uncertain, but growth requires discomfort. Do not let the fear of the unknown keep you in a place that no longer serves you. Move forward with faith, making room for what's coming. Imagine trying to fill a cup that's already overflowing. No matter how much fresh water you pour, it will spill out. This is what happens when you try to step into a new season without letting go of the old one. You must first empty the cup. You must release the things that no longer align with your future. You must remove the clutter from your mind, your heart, and your life. The truth is, blessings are already lined up for you. The opportunities, the breakthroughs, the relationships, they are all waiting, but you must create space for them. You must be willing to release the things that are keeping you stuck. So ask yourself, what is one thing from your past that you are ready to let go of today? The moment you decide to release it is the moment you make room for something greater. The moment you stop looking back is the moment you finally start moving forward. And when you do, you will realize your next blessing has been waiting for you all along. Why does it feel like some blessings take forever to arrive? Why do prayers sometimes seem unanswered? The truth is, everything in life happens in divine timing, not your timing. You may want something now, but if it's not the right season, it won't come. And that's not rejection, it's protection. Most people struggle with patience because they equate waiting with wasting time. But waiting is not wasted time, it's preparation time. If something hasn't arrived yet, it's because you are either not ready to receive it or the situation is not yet aligned for its arrival. When you truly understand this, you stop stressing about when things will happen and start trusting that when the time is right, nothing can stop them. Why patience is a spiritual test. There is a reason why patience is one of the hardest lessons in life. It challenges your faith. It forces you to trust in something greater than yourself. It humbles you by reminding you that you are not in control of the timing, only in control of how you respond to the wait. 1. Patience tests your trust. Do you truly believe that what is meant for you will come? Or do you constantly doubt, complain, and question why things aren't happening fast enough? Faith is not just believing in blessings, it's believing in the waiting process that leads to those blessings. 2, patience reveals your level of self-discipline. Many people settle for less because they can't wait for more. They take shortcuts. They rush into relationships. They accept jobs they don't love. But anything forced never lasts. What is truly meant for you will come naturally, without manipulation or desperation. 3, patience exposes your ability to stay focused. When people don't see results fast enough, they get discouraged. They start thinking their efforts are useless. But success belongs to those who stay consistent even when nothing seems to be happening. The greatest achievements come from those who refuse to quit just because they don't see instant progress. Signs that you are in a season of waiting. If you feel stuck, uncertain, or like nothing is moving forward, you might be in a season of waiting, and instead of resisting it, you need to understand it. Opportunities seem delayed. You are doing the work, but doors don't seem to be opening yet. This is because the right opportunity is still being prepared for you. You feel called to be still. Every time you try to force something, it falls apart. That's a sign that you need to surrender and stop pushing for things that aren't ready. You are being tested emotionally. Waiting reveals your true mindset. Are you growing in patience or are you letting frustration take over? How you respond in the waiting season determines how you will handle the blessing when it arrives. How to stay strong while waiting for your blessings. Shift your focus from when to what. Instead of constantly asking, when will my blessing come? Ask yourself, what can I do right now to prepare for it? Growth happens in the waiting. The more you focus on preparing yourself, the faster you align with what's meant for you. Detach from timelines. Many people set rigid deadlines. I need to be married by this age. I need to be successful by this year. But life doesn't work on your schedule. The more you resist divine timing, the more stress you create for yourself. Instead, trust that what is coming will arrive at the perfect moment. Build unwavering faith. The greatest proof of faith is continuing to believe, even when there's no evidence that things are changing. Most people give up right before their breakthrough. Don't let frustration blind you to the fact that progress is happening even if you can't see it yet. Be grateful for the present. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking, I'll be happy when I get what I want. No, you must learn to be at peace now. The more you focus on what you lack, the more lack you attract. But when you appreciate where you are, you shift into a mindset of abundance, which opens doors for more blessings. Develop yourself. What you do while waiting matters. If you're waiting for love, use this time to heal, grow, and become the best version of yourself. If you're waiting for success, develop new skills and work on your mindset. When the blessing arrives, you need to be ready for it. Divine timing is never wrong. You will never miss what's truly meant for you, but you must trust the process. If something hasn't happened yet, it's because either the blessing isn't ready for you or you aren't ready for the blessing. Look back at your life. How many times did things not work out the way you wanted, but later you realized it was for the best? That's how divine timing works. What seems like a delay is actually a setup for something greater. The blessing is on its way, but you must be patient enough to receive it at the right time. Instead of asking, why is this taking so long? Start saying, I trust that my time is coming. Instead of feeling frustrated, remind yourself, what's meant for me is already mine. It's just waiting for the perfect moment to arrive. What if the blessing you've been waiting for is already in front of you, but you don't see it? What if the delay wasn't about waiting, but about opening your eyes to what's already there? Many people pray for something, but when it arrives, they don't recognize it. They overlook it, question it, or even reject it because it doesn't look exactly the way they expected. Blessings don't always come in the form we imagined. Sometimes they come disguised as challenges, new opportunities, or even redirections. That's why it's crucial to train your mind to recognize the signs of answered prayers. Why some people miss their blessings? They expect it to come easily. Many people think that when a blessing comes, it will feel effortless. But the truth is, most blessings come with responsibility. They require effort, adjustment, and sometimes even discomfort. A new job might be the opportunity you asked for, but it comes with the challenge of stepping outside your comfort zone. A new relationship might be the love you prayed for, but it requires growth, patience, and understanding. If you're expecting blessings to arrive without work, you might miss them. They focus too much on the past. If you're too busy looking at what you lost, you won't see what's in front of you. Many people cling to past relationships, missed opportunities, or old versions of themselves. But God doesn't bless the past, He blesses the present. If you're constantly living in regret, you won't have space to receive what's new. They let fear block them. When the blessing arrives, it might feel unfamiliar. It might push you into new territory. And for many people, that's scary. Fear of change, fear of failure, or even fear of success can cause you to doubt what's meant for you. But blessings don't come to keep you comfortable. They come to elevate you. And if you let fear win, you'll talk yourself out of what you've been praying for. How to recognize the blessing when it arrives. 1, it feels challenging, but right. A true blessing won't always feel easy, but it will feel aligned. It might push you, but it won't destroy you. It might stretch you, but it will also strengthen you. If something feels difficult, but also deeply right, don't run from it. That's your sign. 2, it requires growth. A blessing won't allow you to stay the same. It will demand a new version of you. If an opportunity is calling you to grow, to expand your mindset, or to step into something bigger than yourself, that's a sign it's meant for you. 3, it comes with peace, not pressure. Even if a blessing is challenging, it won't feel forced. You won't have to manipulate, chase, or beg for it. You might need to work for it, but deep down it will feel natural. If you have to constantly force something, question if it's really meant for you. What to do when you receive your blessing? Express gratitude immediately. Gratitude is what keeps the blessing flowing. The more thankful you are for what you receive, the more doors will continue to open. If you only focus on what's next, you risk losing appreciation for what you already have. A grateful heart attracts more blessings. Handle it with responsibility. Many people pray for something, but when they receive it, they take it for granted. They get lazy in their success. They neglect their relationships. They stop working on themselves. But anything not appreciated can be taken away. If you receive a blessing, nurture it, respect it. Show that you are ready to handle it wisely. Stop waiting for perfection. Some people receive a blessing and then hesitate. They question if it's really what they wanted. They delay taking action, waiting for the perfect moment. But perfection is an illusion. If an opportunity is in front of you, step into it. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need faith that you're in the right place, living in alignment with your blessings. Blessings are not just about what you receive. They are about what you do with them. Many people spend their lives chasing more, thinking that happiness is always in the next thing. But true joy comes from recognizing and honoring what you already have. If you're constantly asking, what's next? Slow down, look at your life, see the progress. Notice the doors that have opened. Appreciate the small wins. When you stop waiting for something bigger and start living in the fullness of what you have now, you unlock an even greater flow of abundance. What you have right now was once something you prayed for. Don't let impatience blind you to the fact that you are already blessed. Live in that truth and watch how even greater things unfold.